It's not working. Oh no.
John.
I moved the button and it's not working. Okay, well here we go. We're gonna do this
Do it
then.
again. Run.
No, we're just gonna do this.
Just do it.
We're gonna bring up the smooth jazz.
Oh, is this the theme now? Okay.
No, well, when John moves the button and apparently it breaks the connection.
Hey, how you doing? It's the Ron Ross Radio Show podcast.
Yes.
You think we'd get better with this?
No, it's the Smooth Jazz podcast. Welcome.
How you doing? I'm Ron. That dude over there is John Uglinski, the executive producer of the show, and we thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thanks for following us for our one time only new date and time for today is Wednesday, the 21st.
Nice.
Of already of February. I mean, 2024 racing by, but we had this discussion before, John.
Yeah.
How time is relative and, whatever. As you get older, time moves faster. It does. Okay. And I think they proved it with the theory of relativity. So I don't know. I'm just spouting things, but here we are on the 21st. Thank you so much for hanging with us. Make sure you mash that subscribe button and you follow us on Facebook and on our YouTube channel. And you can always find this podcast elsewhere, wherever you get your podcast, get the audio version. And I will try again to be a little more descriptive. If you're listening to the audio version, I'm wearing my Ricky Bobby hat, the Wonder Bread number 26.
You see, we both went there today, didn't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, look, there's a story behind it, but I really did. This is a high quality hat, and
it looks good.
Whoever was in charge of buying the costumes, I'll get into that in a little bit. But she always nails it. She nailed it. I don't even know why that's even the topic of discussion, because she pretty much kills it every single time.
Way to go.
We'll get into that a little bit later on. So I'm just describing what I'm wearing. I got the scruff. I'm deciding whether I'm going to grow the beard or not. The hair is the longest it's been in a very, very long time. I have my headphones on, so you can't really see it. It's
really?
up under a cap. Yeah. And I was talking with our circle of friends, Michelle, 2L. We have another Michelle in our circle of friends who has 1L, and we call her 1L. But she is my hairdresser, and she cuts my hair, and she does a great job of it. And we were talking, and I said, it's getting a little long. She goes, it is getting long. I'm like, I'm going to let it get a little bit longer, and then we will come back and I'll get my spring due and then take it down high and tight. I've been toying with the idea of a mohawk. I've always wanted to have one. Sometimes I can comb it up into a faux hawk, but I'm thinking, let's go. Let's do it. Let's be bold. Let's shave that thing down on either side. I'm not getting any younger. Why not? Why not?
I don't know.
Why not? Wouldn't that be, I'm not going to any formal affairs or anything. It's not for me to dress up as.
I'm not so sure about that.
No, what? The mohawk?
For the faux hawk.
I'm feeling it. Feeling it good. Anyway.
All right.
Went off on a tangent, of course, as always.
Welcome. Yeah.
So let me catch up a little bit on what's been going on in the old Ross household. After last week's podcast, all right, greatest wife ever. I come downstairs. I come diddy bopping downstairs because I'm in just a great mood because I thought we had a great podcast last Tuesday.
Right.
And we had, I felt good about it. Whatever your opinion is your opinion, which I bow to your opinion. We thank you so much for listening. But I come bopping down the stairs. Hey, I think I was even singing. And the greatest wife ever greets me we live in a townhouse, 3-story townhouse. We have a basement, mid-level, which has the kitchen, dining room, living room, and then upstairs are the 3 bedrooms. And I'm in one of them, which was the daughter of the younger's old bedroom, and now converted into a studio office. And the master suites all across the front of the house. Downstairs is a finished basement, and then we have a separate section with the laundry room. Greatest wife ever greets me at the top of the stairs and says, we have another leak in the basement.
Hey.
Now, before we've had a leak, we had a sewage leak. was the sewage downpipe that took all of the dirty water out of the house. There's one pipe that takes it down into the city, into the town water system.
Right.
And that one was clogged. So every time we flushed the toilet up here, it came out down there in the out of that toilet.
Yikes.
Anyway, that was years ago. That was 24 years ago. It was 2000, I think. Whole basement was ruined. It was dirty water. So, Servpro came out, and it was a hazardous area, and we lost a lot of Christmas decorations.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, it was terrible. Terrible. So this time she's like, there's another leak in the basement. I'm like, son of a.
Here we go again.
Go down, and I see on our fairly new hot water heater that we put in, I don't know, 8 years ago.
Okay.
And I see there's a leak coming down off of this pipe, and it's hitting the top of the water heater and splashing, and it's hitting everything that's right next to it. It's going down into a bucket. The bucket's full, and it's been overflowing onto the cement block floor and hitting all kinds of boxes, and which had, again, holiday decorations in them, childhood books that we wanted to hang on, that kind of thing. And I'm like, son of a gun. So first thing I do is I see the leak coming out of this pipe. So I go get duct tape to just kind of, before we call the plumber, to seal it up. Well, that wasn't it. That's not where it was. It was coming down off of what they call the overflow tank, because it's a hot water.
Oh, right.
And hot water expands. Yeah. Hot water expands. So there's something to give it room for a place for it to go. Right.
Right.
There's a diaphragm in. There's a rubber.
A bladder.
All explained to me by the plumber.
Yeah.
After the fact. But the leak was coming off the top. All right. And there was a ribbon of water coming down the sides. It was hitting that pipe and then dripping down and splashing everything. But anyway, so the plumber comes, and it's literally a 10-minute fix. I mean, take this one off, put the new one on. What happened?
Oh,
it's old. It's made out of metal, and everything's rust out. Just got it was a pinhole in it. There was a hole.
Oh, okay.
In the top.
I got you. So it basically, the bladder failed. It fills up, and then it was coming out of the top and then dripping down.
Right.
Yeah.
Old.
Got it.
It's old.
Got it. I got it. Yeah. They do fail.
I said, how long's the warranty on it? 6 years. When do we have this replaced? 8 years.
Of course. Okay.
Of course.
Well, there you go. You exceeded your life expectancy by 2 years. Way to go.
Shocker.
Yeah.
So then it was like, here's the company to call to come and clean everything up. Was
it that leaky? I mean, was it like last time?
Yeah. It was
really?
No, it wasn't. Well, we didn't know, because it was going to all of the boxes. And it was bad. So after we do an initial cleanup, Greatest Wife Ever and I, she's going through books and this and that, and childhood, from her childhood, from my childhood, from our girls' childhood, stuff like that. And it was, it was upsetting. Yeah. But also we were like, well, they were sitting in a box in our basement. We didn't really know they were there.
You start cleansing. Yeah.
Well, we started doing a little bit of a hard-hearted cleanup. It's upsetting, but you had to go, yeah, but you couldn't have, if you'd have quizzed me, I couldn't have told you what was in any of those boxes. Now, when you start going through it, you, of course, you start bogging down as you start going down memory lane. Things start to slow down as you start.
Right.
Oh, I remember this book, and and which is
such a good time.
Which I was doing. Yeah, exactly. Right. I was doing that. But anyway, so the company comes in, and they have the big industrial blowers and
blower activate.
Blow. They clean out all of the boxes, and they're like, what do you want to keep? What do you want to toss? Right. And then Greatest Wife Ever, I deferred to her, because a lot of the time I had to go to work. Now that day I didn't go to work. Luckily I had the freedom to work from here. So, called the boss and said, hey, this happened. And he's like, fine, take all the time you need. I'm a super cool boss. I super cool bosses. I'm just telling you right here. Right here.
Right here.
Right there.
Right.
Key 103. Super, super cool guy, Mike. And he's like, dude, take all. And he's like, real God, I'm sorry, it's horrible. I mean, he's feeling it with me. And it's like, dude, do what you need to do, man. I'm like, this is fantastic. I love this company. Anyway, we and then so we had to have the ding. So we had to have the cleaning company come in, and they bring the industrial blowers, and and he's a nice guy, and he's very and his crew, and they're very sympathetic to everything. And you're like, because they've gone through it, they've seen it.
Sure.
People have things, their lives ruined, or possessions or whatever ruined.
Right.
And so we're going through this, and of course, and then we call our homeowners insurance to make a claim. Dun dun dun.
Yeah, how'd that go for you?
It went wonderfully.
Really?
Yep. I tell you what, those were great people. Greatest wife ever. And this is well, they look back and they said, they're only going to look back like 3 or 5 years. And she says, and I looked back and see that you had a major claim with the leak before. And she said in 2000. She goes, well, so that might not count against it. And greatest wife ever was like, you said 3 or 4 years. She goes, yeah, that was 2000. She goes, oh yeah, that doesn't matter. Right. Never mind. Nobody's going to find that.
I got you.
So we hadn't had any claims.
Yeah.
So, the cleaning crew comes out. Now, next to that was the bathroom that we had used for the cat litter box room. Okay. And so we had moved all the litter boxes out of there, and we moved them up to the upstairs bathroom. And the cats are like, where am I going?
Where my toilet?
You literally had to pick them up and walk them into there. It's in here now.
Right.
Recognize that smell? It's in there.
Right.
And they're fine with it. And but the cleaning crew is taking all of these measurements, and they're like, this is still wet. This is still wet. So the baseboard's got to come out. And then he said, we'll probably have to do what's called a flood cut around the drywall.
Yeah.
Sheetrock all around the basement. Well, I'm upstairs here doing my thing. And then I just hear the greatest wife ever go, Ron. I could kind of hear her. Ron. And I'm like, are you calling me? She's like, Ron, get down here. I'm like, oh crap. So I go bounding down the stairs. I'm like, what happened? She goes, there's another leak. And I'm like, there's another leak.
What?
There's another leak. So I go into the bathroom where they were making the cut. And apparently he had used a Sawzall or something going up, and he just hit
a line,
water supply line going to the toilet. Oh, I knew.
You know where your water shutoff valve is, by the way?
Time out.
Okay.
I knew. I forgot something.
Okay.
Because it wasn't as easy as all that.
Okay.
When they went into the bathroom, they were like, we have to remove the vanity. The vanity's got to come out because the bottom is wet and that's never going to dry, and there's going to be mold, and we need to pull that.
Okay.
Before they could pull that,
right,
they tried to turn the water off underneath, but all of the plumbing had seized over the years because nobody had turned it on or turned it off. I mean, it was on, but nobody had turned it off through the years. This is the second vanity, because remember that flooding before in 2000? Yeah.
All right.
So we had to get the plumber to come back out and replace all the fixtures underneath. Okay. Now that's on us. Yeah. The valves. Right. That's on us because that's not sudden and accidental.
That's not covered. Right.
Yeah. So because I even said to the cleanup crew, I'm like, you think I can put this on homeowners insurance? And he's like, I wouldn't.
No,
like,
that's
all right. I'm not. So we paid for all that. I forgot about that. That was the second plumber. So now, after the vanity's been removed and he's cutting the drywall, he cuts the water supply line going to the toilet, and water is coming in this little slit in the drywall. It's just pouring in, and his assistant is sitting there with a garbage bag catching all the water. And he's like, where's the water supply line? Where's the main? And I take him into the bathroom or into the back laundry room, and it's right there. It's right there. And he starts opening it up. I'm like, no, righty tighty. Turn it off. So he finally turns it off.
Right.
everything that the blowers had dried is now wet again. Call the plumber. Okay. Yeah, we will be there. This is on Friday.
Right.
Was it Friday? Might have been Thursday. Might have been
Okay.
Friday. I don't know. We went out drinking one of those nights.
Understandably.
And they said $500, $400, no, $200 because it's an after hours emergency call. And I'm like, well, it wasn't when we called you.
Right. Okay.
But they weren't going to be able to get there until after 5.
Okay.
On a Friday.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the cleaning crew is like, we're going to cover all this. Don't worry about it. Give us the bill.
Right.
So they were cool about it.
Of course.
The insurance adjuster had come earlier that day. He's a great guy. He's walking around. He's doing this, that. He goes, they like me to do an appraisal and pay you in the same day. We're like, awesome.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
He's like, how would you like to get it? I'm like, he goes, you have a debit card? I gave him the debit card. He goes, yeah, it'll just show up in your account. I'm like, awesome.
All right.
But now we're sitting there with the leak going. He goes, that's a separate claim. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. They, the cleaning crew, he says, I'm going to call the cleaning crew and see if they'll eat it on that. They might have to. It's a separate claim, number one, and see if they can eat it on it since it was their error.
Yeah, they blew it.
Yeah. So they paid us. I got a Venmo yesterday from them. They paid us for the plumbing bill. But anyway, that was my week from the minutes after the podcast of last week until yesterday.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, everybody has been cool and on the up and up, and everybody has been pleasant and sympathetic and really nice, and they explain it to you. Sometimes I tell them, look, explain to me like I'm 5 years old. I do. I literally say that phrase. Start me from the beginning so I know what you're talking about. And I make them do that. I make them explain it to me so I can understand what's going on.
Literally a Galaxy Quest quote.
Oh, is it really?
Explain to him as if he was a child.
Well, okay. Right. Well, that is the deal. That's what I'm hearing.
So that's how you figure. Yeah. I mean, we had one of those go at one point.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, the overflow tank?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
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 And here's the thing that we've been kicking ourselves about too, is we would have discovered it earlier if we'd have done the laundry a couple of days earlier. But, we do it once a week. We just hadn't been down there yet in the basement to do. That's where the washer and dryer is.
Yeah.
We're literally right next to the hot water heater. If we'd have been down there a couple of days before, who knows? Probably would have caught it at the very beginning, and none of this would have happened.
So it had been going on for a while, and you guys just didn't realize.
Probably a couple of days.
Like pinhole.
I had been down there the week. I had been down there the week before to take laundry down, and Grace wife ever had done laundry the week before. So it was probably like 2 or 3 days.
Do you have like drains in your basement anywhere, or no?
No.
Really?
No, we do not.
Huh. Okay.
No, we do not. And we're very lucky too, because this is all basement talk. Anyway, we're
basement talk.
Basement talk. This is actually it's homework talk. This is the drama that comes along.
It's at home with Ron Ross.
Yeah. So that's my that's my thing.
All right.
That's what's going on. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, it happens to all of us. And in our case, again, we won't extend this too much longer, but how you have a relief valve at the bottom of your hot water tank. There's a thing that looks like essentially where you hook a garden hose up to, right? Well, for us, the overflow tank up top had failed. So the bottom of it just started pushing out water occasionally. So because it couldn't deal with the changes in pressure, which is exactly what it does. So luckily we didn't have it rusted out and had a pinhole leak like you. Sorry.
That's what I hear. That's what would happen,
Sorry.
So it's all good.
Well,
but you know what? Again, these are just, it's you have to put it all in perspective. While it's happening, you're like, son of a gun and all that stuff. And I don't mean to bright side it. in that, you know, you have to validate your own feelings of loss and you know, frustration and so on.
Yeah.
But on a grand scale,
Eh,
you know, it's okay. It was dealt with. We have homeowners insurance. They did their job. Cleanup crew did their job, you know, whatever. And it did open our eyes to the fact that, and we talked to both daughters, and they're now coordinating a spring cleaning time. They're all going to come over, and we're just going to,
Get their junk.
stuff. Now, I will say this: we ran into Greatest Wife Ever has brought up the bunch of photographs, bunch of pictures we had down in this cabinet, and they were all spread out on the dining room table, and she's been categorizing everything.
Okay.
But I tell you what, it's what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know if I can find an adjective. It's eye-opening. You tend to get a little melancholy because you see how thin you used to be.
Yeah.
You see your children when they were little.
Yeah.
It's like 5 different phases of the house ago, different carpet, different,
Right.
you know, colors on the wall, different furnishings and so on.
Mm.
And I did one of those things, and it's really a heartbreaker. It was the daughter of the younger is in the kitchen, I think, on a little trike bike or something like that. She's probably 3. All right. And if I went into, you can hold the photograph up standing in the kitchen so that the door frame in the picture lines up with the door frame.
Right.
And then she would be right there, which was, you know, 25 years ago.
It's like the ghosts of Ron Ross Pass.
Oh, it's painful. It's pretty bittersweet. It's very bittersweet. Yeah. But I mean, I love these pictures, and it's obviously years before phones, and because now like almost everything exists on my phone. And
good and bad, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know what we're gonna do. And then there's my 40th birthday. I think you came to my 40th birthday. Didn't you come to? We had a band in the basement. Reunited my band from the 90s, and we had a bartender in the kitchen, and
that was a long time ago.
It was 20 years ago.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
I'm looking at the 40th birthday, and just all the friends, and some friends I've lost touch with, and anyway, I digress. That wasn't on my list of things to talk about. So, so why am I wearing this hat? Let me tell you.
Well, right. Why are you?
I'm wearing this hat. I'm wearing the Wonder Bread hat, the Ricky Bobby hat from Talladega Nights, the Legend of Ricky Bobby.
Right.
Movie starring John C. Reilly and starring Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly, a bunch of other great. And so Greatest Wife Ever and I and our 2 friends, Michelle and James, we play in this fundraiser for the Civitan Club in Frederick called the Market Street Masters. And what it is, Market Street is the main drag that runs down in the center of Frederick City in Maryland, where I live. And it's a bunch of restaurants and bars, and there are art galleries and all cool shops. What they did in Market Street years ago is they tore it up and they buried all the power lines. So phone lines, power lines, it's all gone. It's all under the street. And you just have, these big, huge sidewalks. And I mean, it's a great town to go out in. We like to go out in pretty much once a week. We go down to Frederick. So we're playing in this golf tournament. It's called Market Street Masters, and it's a 9-hole putt golf tournament, but it's in different bars and breweries. Now they have a hole that they've designed, and you try to get a hole in one or at least a 2. The par is always 2, and although I don't see how it could be 2 on the but it was on this one hole in McClintock Brewery, but anyway, or distilling. But you have teams of 4, and then you get a name for your team. And last year we were Fairway Weather Friends fairway being a golf term. And then so I
Yeah.
had a rain cloud on my head and we won the costume contest. Greatest wife ever was sunshine, and we had somebody who was lightning, and which was fantastic. And the year before, we were putting on the Ritz, so we all wore tuxes. I had a tux and top hat and cane, and then we played. So this year I threw it out there, and what do you want to be? And I'm like the drivers. I'm thinking of a golf term, right? A driver.
Right.
And we thought, well, it's got to be NASCAR if we're going to be drivers. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I want to be my favorite driver, whose name escapes me right now. He retired. He was, oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot
Dale
his name.
Earnhardt?
No, not Junior. Jeff Gordon.
Richard Petty?
Jeff Gordon.
Okay.
Jeff Gordon.
All right.
So
I'm not good at naming NASCAR drivers.
Not now. I used to be. I used to actually follow it quite
back in the day.
A little bit. Yeah, back in the day. So anyway, we decided. So Michelle and James, and they're huge fans of Talladega Nights, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby, the Will Ferrell movie. Mm-hmm. So that was it. So we ordered these costumes, and this is like I said, this is a well-made hat,
right?
It's embroidered and everything, and this is
solid
from an Asian country, I believe.
Probably most of the stuff is made there now.
Yeah. Now, Greatest Wife Ever was Ricky Bobby's wife, whose name I can't remember what it is, but she was the smoking hot wife. So she has the jacket, the hat, she had the sunglasses, and she looked fantastic. Except her jacket didn't come. Her costume did not come.
Oh
no, it got stuck somewhere. So she real quick, I said, look, wear my jacket. I've got the pants, and then we've ordered another shirt, whatever. Nobody was sitting there going, that's not accurate. We got a lot of if you ain't first, you're last. We got a lot of shake and bake.
I'm on fire.
No, we got a lot of shake and bakes, a lot of shake and bake, a lot of it. Michelle was wearing the Perrier costume, so from the Jean Girard, the driver, the Perrier driver.
Yeah, and
Ricky Bobby. And James was I can't believe I called him Jim. James was his partner, the Old Spice, in the Old Spice car. So and Greatest Wife Ever was smoking hot wife.
Okay.
And so we didn't win costume contest this year, but we just had fun. And you go to the bar. Now you don't have to drink in every bar. It's 9 holes. So it takes a little while.
Yeah.
I will say that we went to this one bar, Brewer's Alley, and that's where we decided to get something to eat. By the way, shout out to Brewer's Alley, and the cheeseburger this is where I started going off the wagon a little bit. Got a cheeseburger. I didn't get fries though. I did not get the shoestring fries. I got the cucumber jalapeno salad.
Okay.
Amazing. Good stuff.
But you had the burger.
But I did.
With a bun, or did you go with the lettuce wrap?
With the bun.
All right.
Sorry. I went on
sorry.
And mayonnaise. I did it all, dude. So, but I'm sitting there at the bar, and I'm sitting next to this guy, and it's me. So I strike up a conversation with this guy. Come to find out that he says he's a neuroscientist, works at NIH, or has worked with the federal government and so on. And he's going through, so anyway, we talked a little bit, and some of his stuff rang true, I guess. And so I befriended the guy. So just chatted him up the whole time. That's what I do. Right. So we're going to the next bar, and I tell him that we're going to the next bar. So he follows us. Except he ain't chatting with me now. He's chatting with a couple of the women that were in our group. They were like, why did you invite this guy? I said, I didn't invite this guy. Who is this guy? I'm like, his name is, X. And
neuroscientist.
He says he does this. Well, another one of our crew is actually, she's got a PhD. She works at a pharmaceutical firm, and she all day she tries to cure cancer. That's what she does for a living all day. I talk on the radio. She tries to cure cancer. I mean, it's about the same, right?
Sure.
Go
with that.
She's a wonderful, wonderful person, totally humble and unaffected. She's just beautiful personality. So I'm thinking this guy might be kind of like the same of this cut from the same cloth kind of thing. But, I keep mentioning that, her husband, who is a friend of mine. But anyway, so he followed us and they wound up running from him, literally like full out run to get to the next bar. So I think he just kind of,
You got the message at that point.
But, I'm just talking to the dude. So, and he just wanted to come along. Anyway, we're in another bar, and I come up to, and I'm trying to find Greatest Wife Ever, and I walk up to the table, and I'm like, "Where's my smoking hot wife?" And they're like, "Oh, she's over behind you," because I'm referring to the movie. Okay,
right.
And but one of the women there didn't realize I was doing that, and she's like, "That's how the husbands should refer to their wife. Where's my smoking hot wife?"
Yeah.
Then I kind of felt bad because I don't normally do that. I say greatest wife ever.
Right.
Which is another, and I still do that to this day. So I think now I'm going to try to work that in addition to greatest wife ever.
Well, okay. Like
alternate.
I
think, yeah, smoking hot wife.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would work. I like the way it just kind of rolled off my tongue. She was looking especially like super, she was great. And so I think it works. I think I'm gonna start using that in addition to greatest wife ever. And
I may try that on our cruise next week.
I do it.
Work that in.
John, I'm telling you, man,
hot wife.
Do it, but you got to do it with all in sincerity. You can't do it like you're joking.
It's always sincere.
Always sincere.
It's always sincere. When would it not be sincere?
I'm not saying you would be. I'm saying you've.
The point being, I still think my wife's smoking hot after all these years.
Well,
so
there you go.
Cheers.
Is what I'm saying. Yeah, here you go. There's a little. Oh, by the way, end of the month.
Go
end of March. Opening day. American League champions. Go
O's, go Baltimore, go Cal. Go Natty Bo.
So
exactly.
Speaking of which, of smoking hot wife. So Valentine's Day was last week too. And I think I told you we were going to just have Chinese food.
Yep.
So we got Chinese food, but and this is another case of me falling off the wagon with my diet there, John, because we ordered, do you want to get this? So we had 4 entrees. We ordered 4.
Why?
Well, actually, we ordered.
What are you doing?
Was it? Wait a minute. No, we had 3. One was given to us.
Okay.
Because she opens up the bag and she's like, "What is this?" And it was this awesome chicken and broccoli kind of thing. And she called the restaurant and she goes, "Oh yeah, the chef just kind of, when they have extra or whatever, they just gave it to you. Don't worry about it." We're like, "This isn't from somebody else's order." And I'm like, nope, that's for you. So we got a little bonus because we order from this place all the time.
Okay.
So they gave us a whole other entree.
So it's like when I go to Dunkin' and they give me an extra donut in my bag.
Yes.
Because they know me.
Yes.
And I don't ask for it. It just shows up there.
That's right. Okay. Exactly.
Which is how you
do business. Oh, right? It was amazing.
I love that.
But we had ordered the ribs and we ordered the wings. Oh. By the way, Chinese wing sauce is way better than just regular hot wing sauce. It's way better. I don't
know.
And then I actually thought, no, I'm not going to get the soup. I'm ordering too much.
What, so did you get the miso soup or something?
No, I get the wonton.
Wonton? Okay. All right.
But I did get my 2 egg rolls, one for today, one for tomorrow.
Well, yeah, because
great. So I got the spring rolls. And then did we get Mugu Gai Pan? And then did we get General Tso's chicken? Oh, and roast pork and vegetables. So we did. We got 3 entrees and then that extra.
Holy moly. Feeding an army over there.
Just one couple. It's just she and I. We weren't sharing it with anybody. It's not like the girls were coming over for a family meal. No, it's just us.
Wow.
And well, no, you take a little bit, you have one full plate. And I'm looking at the plate like, I don't normally eat this much, but it just tastes so good. It was amazing. But I must have drank a gallon of water that evening because it was just constantly. I'm like,
Sodium.
go,
You trying to flush the sodium out.
and then we're watching something. I forget what we were watching, and I think it was. Did we watch a rom-com? It was more of a rom than it was a com. I don't remember what it was. That's how memorable it was. But every time I go into the kitchen, because the food was still sitting out on top of the stove, I was like, grab some chopsticks, couple of pieces of General Tso's chicken. Just while I'm standing there getting more water, fueling the salt in my system. But
salty.
Oh,
so good.
It was so good. So yesterday,
now I'm hungry.
We finally decided to we had to reduce our cable bill because we were paying for all these channels and we're not watching them and so on.
Yeah.
But what's really frustrating, and we got rid of Showtime, I think. We haven't watched anything on Showtime in a long time.
Yeah.
And we it was funny because it's all bundled in tiers now. You can't just like a la carte pay for the channels that you want. That would be nice, but
it never happened.
They don't do that. They don't do that.
Never.
They force you to buy stuff that you don't consume.
Right.
So in order for me to get this channel, say we wanted to I'm just out of the blue. I don't know if this is true or not, but I wanted to get Food Network and other channels that we definitely watch.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get all of these other channels. And like, so if
I
wanted
a package,
and if I wanted to get and news and sports, they put together. So if I wanted to get CNN and Fox News and MSNBC and all of those, I also have to pay for all of these other sports channels that I don't watch, but I gotta get it just so I can get the news. And I'm on the phone, and Grace Webber is like looking at me incredulously, like, it's news. Shouldn't they be required to carry news like for free? And, isn't that like a public service? So
kind of not. It's entertainment at this point. So
okay,
a lot of it.
These opinions are of John Yaglinski, not necessarily.
It is news. I mean, you might have the news at the top of the hour, but then after that, they don't consider it news. It's like a program.
It's
so
like
that's more what I mean. Yeah. I wasn't making a blanket statement on news in general.
No, John, I'm teasing you. I'm kidding with you.
The views of John Yaglinski do not necessarily.
So the
Ron Ross Radio Show.
Right. So we were flipping through the channels now that we made these adjustments, and I noticed that was like that one of them wasn't included. Paramount is now gone, and I'm like, but we watch Yellowstone and we watch things on Paramount. So now, what am I gonna do? So you have to wait until I don't know. Paramount or Yellowstone is not going to be on for quite a while, but you have to start wondering what do I want to pay to watch these shows that have commercials in them anyway? That that was the whole point of broadcast TV with commercials, was that was the price you paid. You had to watch the sponsors, and
for what, $7 a month you can add Paramount Plus on the streaming. So
I still have that. I still have Paramount Plus, but doesn't have Yellowstone.
It has Yellowstone on it.
Does it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
All Yellowstones are on Peacock.
No, I thought.
They are. Yeah, it's a weird thing. Also, if anything that was on FX, if you're watching something on FX and you wanted to watch it on my cable system, you have a limited window because then it flips over to Hulu, and I don't have Hulu. FX on Hulu, and I'm like, oh God.
Are we talking the 1883 or the other one?
No, we're talking Yellowstone.
Okay.
Anyway, neither here nor there. I just thought it was interesting. When you start reducing what you're paying for what you're watching, you start deciding, well, what do I really want to watch? Although we just started one last night that we were kind of intrigued about, and it's a British show. It's a crime drama. It's a mystery, and of course now she and I just start yelling, or not yelling, but we just start saying to each other, okay, this is happening. That's because this and this and this. And she's like, that's going to come back. That's going to figure into another thing. I'm like, yes, you're right. And then we try to figure it all out before, you get to where you're going with that show. But good show.
Have not watched it. My wife has
Which
watched
one?
it.
What,
The
Yellowstone?
Yellowstone.
Oh, Yellowstone's so good. Kevin Costner is amazing.
That's what I heard.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, he's playing, John Dutton, his character, has got this big, gravelly voice. John Dutton, and he talks like this, like he's trying to be Batman. And then when you hear him in a normal conversation, it's like, oh, it's Kevin Costner. Like, oh, he's putting on that voice. He's putting on the voice of John Dutton, which is, gravelly, raw hair.
Yeah.
It's really good. And the actress Kelly Riley, who plays Beth, the Beth character is she's amazing. She's amazing. And of course, and I can't remember the name of the actor who plays Rip. Her beau. They never watched it. Sorry, spoiler alert. They get married, and but he's like the head of the ranch. He's John Dutton's right hand man, and Rip. I do like the T-shirt that says "Every girl needs a little rip in her jeans." I'm like, all right, okay, everybody, calm down. Yeah, I know, it's interesting, but it's a good show. It's a really good show. I really enjoy the show. So, all right, here we go. Oh my gosh, we're running behind. It's time.
All right,
you ready, John?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Time to get this great matter working. Fire off the synapses, engage the frontal lobe, form new neural networks. Utilize the cerebrum. As Pooh says, it's time to think. It's the nice question of the day. Playing for pride, not prize. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. On the final lap of the 2009 Aaron's 499 at Talladega Speedway, Carl Edwards crashed on the final lap, with his car coming to a stop on the track apron just beyond the pit road exit as Keselowski and Dale Earnhardt Jr. crossed the finish line. Edwards then did this, stating later he was kind of a Will Ferrell fan. What did Carl Edwards do? Okay. On the final lap of the 2009 Aaron's 499 at Talladega Speedway, Carl Edwards crashed on the final lap, and his car came to a stop on the track apron just beyond the pit road exit, just as the race was being finished by Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Keselowski as they crossed the finish line. So Edwards then did this, stating later that he was kind of a Will Ferrell fan. What did Carl Edwards do? All right.
Wow.
You kind of have to know the movie. And good luck.
I think you're going to stump the crowd today.
No. I guarantee you there's a Talladega Nights fan who knows exactly what this driver did. There are NASCAR fans everywhere, and they like the movie and they like NASCAR. I think we're going to have
I think you're going to stump everybody. Even I, who have watched the movie.
You not know? Really?
Don't know. Yeah.
All right. Here it is one more time. On the final lap of the 2009 Aaron's 499 at Talladega Super Speedway, Carl Edwards crashed on the final lap with his car coming to a stop on the track apron just beyond the pit road exit as Dale Earnhardt Jr. crossed the finish line. Edwards then did this, stating later he was kind of a Will Ferrell fan. What did Carl Edwards do? Super duper giveaway clue. To a standing ovation. To a standing ovation from everybody in the crowd. Okay. Do we have any answers? We have no answers?
No, nobody knows, Rod.
All right. Later, he was disqualified and counted as a did not finish because his car did not cross the finish line.
All right.
What did he do?
Okay. Well, I know what he did now.
Now you know what he did. Okay. All right. Now we should get an answer.
The problem.
If you saw the movie Talladega Nights.
Can I answer?
No.
Wait.
Nobody's coming through?
Well, Sandy says she knows it because she Googled it. So she's being honest.
All right.
I like the honesty there, Sandy.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Sandy.
hold on. Here we go. Celeste says,
Ran to the finish line. That's correct. He got out of his car and he ran across the finish line to a standing ovation. However, that's illegal because
Right.
you can't get out of your car. Your car has to cross the finish line. So he got qualified as a did not finish.
the end of the
And
movie.
he said later
That's
he was
funny.
a fan, kind of a fan of Will Ferrell and the movie Talladega Nights, which is what Will Ferrell did
Right.
when he crashed right before the end of the race, and then he ran across the finish line.
And they pointed out, by the way, in the movie, this is totally illegal. But...
Totally illegal. It's cool, but yeah, you
Yeah.
can't do that.
Yeah.
Celeste did a total guess. Nice job, Celeste.
Nice job,
yes.
Celeste. Yeah.
Actually did that in real life, ran across the finish line.
That's funny.
Okay.
I'd never heard that before.
I never heard of it before either until I looked it up.
The more you know.
The more you know. So I thought that was funny though. That there was an actual real life imitating art.
I would have laughed my rear end off had I seen that.
Well, I think the people calling the race said something about it was very much a Ricky Bobby moment. I thought maybe he got out and started running around like I'm on fire, but no, he was
ran
in the movie.
There's got to be video of that somewhere, so now I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, now you gotta look it up. Yeah, he ran to a standing ovation. He ran across the finish line.
That's awesome.
Everybody knew exactly what he was doing.
Right. Is he doing a Ricky Bobby? He's doing a Ricky Bobby.
He's doing a Ricky Bobby. Oh my god, it's amazing. So now I grew up as a kid. I grew up in Raleigh, North Carolina, and then in outside Richmond in Mechanicsville, Virginia, where NASCAR was heavily prevalent because you have the Richmond 500, which is at the Richmond. I believe it's the smallest NASCAR track in Richmond. Now I never went to the Richmond 500, but our neighbors, Kenny and Michael, they were huge into race cars and NASCAR. And I'll admit that I did put together the models, when you put your models together.
Yeah.
I did the King. I did Richard Petty, number 43. Oh yeah, it's Plymouth. I put that together with the powder blue.
It's a good looking car.
Yeah, it's a good looking car, isn't it?
Iconic.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
King, Richard Petty.
The King.
The King. Well, we did go and see what was called, and to hear my neighbors, friends that were my age, so 8, 9, 10 at the time, calling it Limity, Limity, Limity class. It's limited, but it was on a dirt track. It was a dirt track, and but you had big high banks. Was it a dirt track? Maybe not. But it was stock car racing, but it wasn't in Richmond. It was some other track out. I did go to that. That was a lot of fun. Loud. Yeah. It was loud. It's loud. It was super loud. And this was years before I wore headphones for a living. But always wanted to go to an actual NASCAR race. We had friends who were big, and we go to Daytona. Daytona just happened this weekend. And it was pretty amazing to watch the race that was going. And then Grace, we've ever got into it, and we got into it for a little while watching it on TV, because now you've got the cameras in the cars, and then you've got
it's much better than it used to be.
The same technology that goes into painting the first yard line, or the
right.
first down line on the field, also goes into the little tag that points to the car as it's going around, going, this is Dale Earnhardt Jr. This is as they're going around. It's the same technology.
Wow.
From what I saw in a documentary.
Who knew?
But no. So have you ever been to a NASCAR race, John?
No, actually, it's one of those things that I kind of would like to do. I have driven a stock car, 119, 120 miles an hour or something.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, I did. Well, I have a picture over here. Talk for a second. Here,
all right.
Let me.
I have another friend who likes to race his own car. He's got, it's not a stock car, basically. No, move it to.
I know. I'm trying.
To your left. There's your ring light.
There is my ring light.
There's you.
And my buddy Gary O'Brien.
Okay.
We did the Richard
Ooh.
Petty driving experience at Walt Disney
Oh,
World.
when you're in a Charger.
Oh,
Oh,
dude,
that's
it was. And we got in there and they were like, "Do you know how to drive stick?" And I'm like, "Yep." And so I put the. He's like, "Can okay, put the car in gear."
And just then
Yeah,
you felt a little
that's
one
third
more
gear.
hair just
That's
go
third gear. Yeah, he was
on your
like,
chest.
"That's third gear." Okay, whoops. Okay,
Oh no, were
we're in
you in the
first.
wrong?
Well, I mean, before I took off, he was like, "Go ahead, put the car in gear." I'm like, "All right, clutch in." That's third gear. Okay. First gear, good. Let's go.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's go.
120.67 miles per hour is, I think, what my top speed was, and I have video of it somewhere.
I'm
And
jealous.
and the deal was essentially it was a short track. I mean, at Walt Disney World, they used to have it, and they ran some races there. And you essentially would follow a pace car,
Mhm,
and the pace car would have green, yellow, and red,
mhm.
and they would measure how close you were to the pace car. And then the guys were like, "Go get you some reds," like to the point where you have to back off. Right?
Oh,
I,
okay.
I never got beyond yellow.
Okay.
It was scary as heck, and
Yes.
and at 120 miles an hour, like the walls were. I mean, the car was. I couldn't get too close to the wall. Like he's riding right up against the wall, and I'm
He's on the
kind of
wall.
like,
He was on the inside. You weren't running on the inside?
I'm on the inside him. He was running out at the wall, and I came down a little. I was scared to go near the wall.
Well,
It was
yeah,
it was freaky, man.
especially at 120 miles per hour.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's funny. We were lucky enough. If you ever get to do this, by the way, I think they still do this at some racetracks like Daytona and things like that. Do the longer version of it because it takes you couple to 3 laps before you start getting up your courage. Like, all right, I've been around the track a few times. Now I can put the pedal down a little bit more. And you could see my speed kept increasing. I think we did
That's me
like
with roller
5 or
skating,
6
by the way.
laps. Yeah.
That's me with roller skating. So just
Right. Same idea, same concept. But I will say,
yeah.
so before that, I was not a huge NASCAR guy or stock car guy, whatever.
Yeah.
I will say this was life changing. One of the coolest things I have ever done in my life. And
Really?
yeah, thank you to, by the way, Disney PR for giving me the opportunity to do that because I would have never done it had I been paying for it. I wouldn't have. I just would have been like, I would have been like,
Right.
But
Yeah.
instead, we got to do it, and of course, my buddy Gary, who was with me at the time,
Mm.
beat me. He did. He went faster than I did. So for 20
Of course,
years,
it's a
I had to hear.
competition. You're a guy. Yeah.
I
I
had to
got
hear
it.
about that. So, dang it.
Well,
But
I
yeah,
mean, so have you ever been to a NASCAR race? You ever go to the
no, I want to
Daytona
go.
500?
I want to go.
I'm talking to
The people.
people
Sorry.
hanging out with us.
Oh, okay.
If you've ever been to one, tell us, throw it down in the comment section. If you've gone to maybe Talladega, maybe you've gone to the Richmond 500. That was I regret not going there.
It looks like Sandy's actually driven the car. She said she's done that, and it was super fun. And she wished she knew where her picture was.
Oh no,
Yeah.
you can't find the picture.
Yeah.
It was
And
cool. Even cooler when it was riding in the back of a 2-seater Indy car, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. See, now that right there scares the living daylights out of me.
Yeah.
Just getting down into a Formula One car where you're like this and your steering wheel is literally like right there, and that's it.
Yeah.
Oh no. That's some freaky stuff. And in my opinion.
No, it's.
I mean, I like
fun.
NASCAR. I
Yeah.
like Formula One racing too. I'm just, and I have to bow down to the skills, but
Mhm.
it's amazing to watch. And there's so much more going into it than just turning low. They go real fast and turn left. That's not all the. That's it's so much more. So much more. Just to reduce it to that is just, I don't know. I mean, I get it. It's funny, but that's not. There's a lot that's going on inside that car. Although that one, and what's the other one with Dick Trickle, Tom Cruise? Days of Thunder. Days of Thunder.
Oh yeah,
Another
I
NASCAR
remember
movie.
that movie.
Another NASCAR movie.
I should
That
go
was
back and watch that again.
you want to
Been
watch
a
that
while.
again?
Yeah, it's been a while.
We rented, we watched Talladega Nights the night before we went, just to familiarize ourselves with the so we did at each hole at the Market Street Masters, we make sure that we said a prayer to 8-pound, 6-ounce baby Jesus. It's a no word.
I like my Jesus in the baby form.
You can pray to the bearded Jesus or teenage Jesus, wherever you
or baby. I'd prefer to pray to baby Jesus.
teenage Jesus.
Teenage Jesus.
All right, Zach's put up a comment here.
Yeah,
It says, I went to the Indy 500 a few years ago. We were in the infield and only saw a couple of minutes of
yeah.
the actual race.
That's-
Well, you're in the
it's
infield,
a big party.
Zach. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I think after a couple, 2, 3, 5, 10 beers, you're like, where are we? We're at the race. We're at the race. Okay, I got it. Of course, it's going all around you, and you have bands that are playing in the infield. It's like that. I always wanted to do that too. Is go to the Preakness. The Preakness,
Oh yeah,
that is
yeah,
the Preakness
yeah,
at the
that'd be fun.
Pimlico Raceway and or track in Baltimore.
Yeah,
Or
Palmer.
the part of the Triple Crown, because apparently that's a party on the infield too. So, I mean, it's a whole other life that I don't know about. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just nothing that I've been privy to. Like a good friend of ours, Bob, he was huge, probably still is, NASCAR, would drive and go to Daytona, take time off from work, and would go to these races, and he owned all kinds of memorabilia from different drivers. He collected it. And I mean, it's a whole culture that I just don't know about. It's interesting though. Because
give me a mint julep though.
I think it's the number one. You're back to horse racing. It's the
Sorry.
number one spectator sport in the
Right.
United States.
Right.
Is NASCAR number one?
Mm-hmm.
Millions and millions upon millions of people enjoy it. And I don't really know
I'm sorry.
anything about it. It's
Give
sort of like
me an ice cold beer. Was
something
it
like-
better?
yes, that's
Okay.
better. Yeah, you don't want to mint julep with the
That-
NASCAR. No, you
Sorry.
wouldn't.
Sorry, I took it back there for a second. You know what I want to do though, which is it crosses the racing world and the running world, which is I missed it this year because I was somewhere else. Down at Daytona, they actually do a Daytona 500. I think it's the week before the
Mhm.
race at Daytona half marathon.
Oh,
you
yeah.
start actually on the racetrack.
Do you run on the track?
And then you run out to the beach, to the Daytona beach, and then you
Okay.
come back, and then you enter in the stadium, and then finish at the finish line on the 500. I think that would be really cool.
That sounds amazing. That sounds
Right?
like on a great
know.
experience. Yeah.
I know. And my
Holy
fellow
cow.
runners, maybe we can do that. Next year.
Yeah, you should do that, John.
I know. That's what I want to do. It's on my list. It's on my remaining lists of races that I want to do.
Speaking of which, so
Yeah.
since I'm on my weight loss odyssey, and I fell off the wagon this weekend it started with the Chinese food, and then we had the cheeseburger, and then I went and got the hot dogs at Watson's. And who knew? There's a little fried chicken place near us called Watson's Carryout,
Right?
and it's in Jefferson, Maryland, right? So
Okay.
Brady's wife every night, it's on a Sunday, and we're just kind of looking at each other, and I'm like, let's go get some hot dogs there. The story of the hot dogs. Hot dogs, there was a place in downtown Frederick called the White Star Luncheonette. And they split them down the middle, and they grilled them on the flat top
Nice.
on a griddle, right? So they grilled them that way. But then they put this slightly sweet, and it was really ground down, fine grind of the ground meat of the Cincinnati chili. Okay. Layer Cincinnati chili, mustard, and then just a whole other layer of minced onions on top. Fresh, not the reconstituted from dried onions. Fresh minced onions on top, white with it. You go get 2 of them at the White Star Luncheonette, especially when you finished up work at the Rabbit's Foot at 2:00 in the morning. They were open all night, but it wasn't in a great part of town. So my greatest wife ever tells the story is she would go in, order the hot dogs, and then come back out and sit in her car and lock the door.
Oh,
and
jeez.
wait till the dogs were done, and then go back in, get the hot dogs, and then you know eat them in the car. I used to go get bags of them for my greatest wife ever and her mom, my mother-in-law. We just sit there and eat White Star dog. So White Star is gone,
Yeah,
but
I know.
Watson's still carries them. They don't call them White
White-
Star dogs.
Oh,
They're called
okay.
Texas Wieners now, but they're prepared the same way.
Okay.
But they're famous for their fried chicken. They have Watson's has this just incredible fried chicken. So I went there on a Sunday night. I expect to just kind of be zip in, zip out, get a couple of dogs, maybe get a couple of pieces of chicken, and get out of there. And no, it was a line out the door. It was on a Sunday evening. Everybody was there, and that's not counting the call-in orders. People had ordered ahead to go and pick it up. So the line was, so it was, but just the funny thing, I thought it was funny, and it's only for people my age. Okay. Only people my age. Woman at the counter. I'm sitting in a booth with another stranger that I struck up a friendship with because we're just sitting there talking, waiting for our food. The lady at the counter goes, she's got an order, and she goes, Dave?
Is Dave here? Dave's not here, man.
Somebody in the crowd went, Dave's not here.
He's not here,
And I
man.
went,
Dave's not here, man.
and I just wanted to go, but I'm Dave. No, dude. And the guy across from me, and I'm like, is it just me? Cheech and Chong goes, oh, no, I got it.
Yeah, but I'm Dave. I'm
No, he
here.
wasn't. He was not
Oh,
Dave.
okay.
Dave was not there.
Oh.
Quite literally. I just thought,
That's
oh,
funny.
man, I am and I was amongst probably 30 people. There were just two guys who thought that was funny. Because I just,
Oh my God.
'cause I grew up on
I would have been
Cheech and Chong.
laughing. I would have been snorting. It would have been fantastic.
yeah. You don't know what I'm talking about. Go to YouTube, look up Cheech and Chong, Dave.
Dave.
No, dude, I'm Dave.
I'm Dave.
What? Dave's not here, man.
I'm gonna play you out.
All right, listen.
It's that time.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Make sure you follow us and subscribe, and also make sure you tell your friends. You can get this podcast wherever you get your podcast. By the way, this has been a production of R Squared Productions.
Oh,
Executive producer
it's
Ron
fantastic.
Ross and John Niegolinsky.
Hello.
All right, that's John over there.
Hi.
I'm Ron Ross. Listen, please take care of yourselves and each other. Please be safe. Ron Ross. Love you, mean it. Bicycle.
Bye-bye. Bye now. Bye-bye. We need like a drum at the
Why
end.
do you do?
What did you do?
Well, there
What did you
weren't
do?
drums on the track.
Yeah, on the track. We need that. All right, we got to go. Bye now.
I thought you were hitting the goodbye
I
button.
was,
All
but
right.
I had a comment. I'm sorry.